Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK here. My name's Chris. Chris. This is my co-host, Andrew the Boxing Brain.
Hello.
And
Yes.
today we're going to be talking about these are our final thoughts and predictions. Oh, Andrew's gone. Final thoughts and predictions for Joyce and Derek Chisora. Okay, take it away, Andrew.
Well, I've done a little to see if we can kind of break this down a little bit. I've done a
Yeah,
little bit, got a few notes here, so I'll just kind of rattle through these, Chris, and then perhaps you sort of come
yeah,
in with some of your thoughts. So Chisora, right? He's 40 now. He's spoken about. I saw a Talksport interview. He wants to get to 50 fights. He's sort of almost alluding to never retiring. You know, the bills have all still got to be paid. So he he laboured to a unanimous decision, didn't he, against Washington? Third fight lost to Fury. In 2022, he had probably his last good win was against a very aging Pulev. Lost to
yeah,
Parker twice in a row by decision. Before that, actually gave Usyk a good run for his money, roughed him up a bit. 2019,
yeah,
stopped David Price. Good wins against Takam Spilka, but you're sort of going back a while now. Two good fights against Dillian White. You know, obviously we remember. How
yeah.
much has the guy got
Awesome.
left? I mean, he seems to be slowing down. I don't know if the punch as well. The punch resistance definitely, I don't think's there. So that's kind of my brief little bit on Chisora. On to Joyce. Not had very many fights in his pro career. He turned pro late, didn't he, or later? That's for sure.
I
Um,
think it was like
had
29 or
that,
something.
yeah, had that very bad 10 rounder against Cash Ali last time out, which he didn't look great. I mean, some of those shots he was landing, you could have they were landed about 2 weeks later, weren't they? He was that slow. Uh, two bad KOs to Zhang. Good, but this is where you look at his kind of recent last few years. Had that really good win against Parker, beat Hammer. Everyone's beating Hammer these days, to be fair. Stopped Takam,
Yeah.
beat Dubois just with a left hand, didn't he? Just beat him with one arm.
Mm.
Stopped him. Decent wins against Brian Jennings, Ustinov. And my overall thoughts on it, just before getting your kind of ideas on this, I don't like the fight. I never have done. Both are getting old now. Both are getting slow. It'll be a good tear up. I think it'll be entertaining, but it's going to be like watching two fighters fight underwater in it in slow motion. But I do think it's going to be entertaining. I'm just not sure I'm going to be fully comfortable with watching the potential damage that's done to either fighter. We're just blocking the shots with their face, and I don't really like it. And that's my overall thoughts, Chris.
Well, I'm with you on that one. Like, I think with Chisora, where he's had so many fights, and all of them have been wars. Like fair play to him. No one's ever he's been knocked out cold, but he's never been in a fight where he's been continually dropped or anything. But he's just always been in fights where he's taken beatings and kept on coming
Mm.
and kept on every now and again showing something so they don't stop it. But he has took hellacious beatings for his whole career, and he's only been
Yeah,
knocked out cold twice by Dylan White and David Haye. So he either gets
yeah,
knocked out cold, or he gives everything he got, but it takes a beating, but just keeps on coming. And
yeah.
that last fight with Washington. So I like to go off recent performances. So his fight with Washington was terrible. He was off, but even with Pulev, really, if you look at his last two, he normally Chisora, when he was War Chisora and he was in good form, like when he fought leading up to the Usyk fight, he was in great form, and then after that, kind of deteriorated a bit. When Washington and Pulev, his kind of fights like a drunk, like he's drunk or something. Like his balance is all off,
Yeah.
and he's not.
Mm.
It's not constant pressure. It's bursts of pressure. So it's like
Yeah.
he comes at you, throw loads up on every shot for about 30 seconds. Sees it. See if he sees any opportunities. Then he takes a step back, lets you pound at him for a bit, leans on the ropes, falls all over the ring,
Mm.
and then gets a little bit of a win. Then he goes for another 30 seconds, and that's what he did in the Washington fight. He's fighting like 20, 30 second bursts, and then like leaning on the ropes or just blocking or tucking up. And it's not like it was before, where it was just constant pressure and sometimes educated
Mm.
pressure. It's just like he's fighting like a like a like he's a bit drunk, like a lazy man kind of style. Like his balance is all off,
Yeah.
falling over the ring. I don't like to see it because I'm not enjoying the fight. I'm feeling sorry for him. Like, oh man, he needs to stop this. He needs to stop this now. He's taking too much of a beating.
Yeah, there's not really anything in that I could disagree with. Really, I mean, I was watching some recent interviews, and you never really know what you're going to get from Chisora. It's partly why I think he's still relevant because he's got this kind of likability. You don't know, he's got these antics. You know, if he's going to flip a table or make some round, he comes in with a MAGA hat, Trump t-shirt. You know, I'm not. You know, what you believe in is what you believe in, but he's almost got that. He wants to sort of incite people and get people talking about him.
Yeah.
Then he had a Deliveroo thing, but they both sounded a bit punched. They both sounded a bit punch drunk to me, like just a bit like they'd both taken a lot of shots to the cranium, and they're just just
It's like
they both sounded a little bit off it.
and with Joyce, he's had a short pro career, but he's another one. He was eating dinner and surviving on his chin for nearly all his fights.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
so yeah, he's had a short career, but because he had to be fast tracked, he was fighting good opposition from day one. Like he was fighting really good fighters from day one, top 15, top 20 fighters. And he was doing well, but you can't eat out on a chin. You can't dine on a chin forever, especially when you get hit by people like Zhang. So Zhang had his number, and he stopped him, and he stopped him again. So no, this fight, the Cash Ali fight, was terrible. But I think out of the two of them, I think Joyce will have a little bit more left, and I think. Well, let's say the final prediction. I think Joyce is just gonna stay away from Derek. When Derek runs at him and loads up, boom, 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 then big hooks to the body and head, and Joyce feels that he's gonna stay away and he's just gonna stick his jab out like he did with Dubois. Keep jabbing him, keep it long, keep jab, nice slow jab, and then Derek's just gonna come in to try and with an over right hand every now and again. Probably not be successful. I think it's just that's how I see it going, and it's just going to be a laboured 12 rounds. Going to be very boring and same pattern. I can see it being Joyce sticking in with a jab, and every now and again Chisora having a burst and trying to knock him out by hooks to the body, hooks to the head, and Joyce blocking them all because they're both slow as molasses. And I think a lot of Joyce's jabs might get through, but some won't. But because he'll be landing more, he'll win the fight. I can see it being like that or it might be exciting because they're both slow and they might both go for it. But I just can't see it. So, but my final prediction is going to be: I'm going Joyce by unanimous decision.
Oh, okay, interesting. I think my final decision is I think Chisora will be game. Like I say, he's obviously going to try and get on Joyce's chest and try and get those hooks going. But I'm just not sure what he's got left in the tank, how much desire is left. I'm not sure how much ambition is there. It's a fairly sort of big domestic tear up, so it will probably do fairly good numbers. You'll get a good pay. You know, I'm the cynic in me. It's kind of talking. Joe Joyce probably still has some aspiration of making another run for something. or for a high
Yeah.
profile fight. So I think Joyce will gradually chop him down, and I think Chisora will gas out in the later rounds, and I think he'll stop. I think he'll stop Chisora in some way late on.
Yeah. Okay, so you're
Yeah,
going for Chisora. No, Joyce late stoppage. I'm going
yeah,
for Joyce unanimous decision. I don't think he'll stop him. I don't think he's going to have the balls to use his chin as to eat out on. I think if he feels a bit of
mm,
Chisora's shots, I don't think he's going to have the balls to try and do that.
yeah,
But like you say, he
yeah,
gets out in the end, later rounds and gets stopped anyway. But yeah, that's our final
yeah,
predictions. Late stoppage and a unanimous decision, both going for Joyce. And
yeah,
yeah, well, I'm kind of looking forward to the fight on Saturday, just to
yeah.
see
Sort of.
what they both got. I want to see what they both got left. What kind of shape they're turning. Let's watch these old men fight at the backyard a barbecue. That's what it look like. Two uncles
Mm,
fighting at a barbecue.
yeah,
And Snoop Dogg says,
underwater in slow motion, walking through treacle in cement.
"All right, on that note, everybody, it's Boxing Bros UK. Please like and subscribe."
Beautiful.